Hey, it's Norm with Mountain Beaches, and today we're going to talk about saving you money by winterizing your own RV. It's getting cold outside. In fact, it's going to be down into the teens here for us tonight, so I've got to winterize our trailers and get them ready for winter. Hey, welcome back to Mountain Beaches. Hey, today we're going to be talking about winterizing your own trailer, and to do that, it's really pretty easy. There's a couple of different methods to do it, and you can save yourself $100, $200, even $300, depending on what part of the country you live in, by doing it yourself. This is an easy DIY project, and even I can do it. All right, the first step is to drain any water that might be remaining in your RV. So you want to find your freshwater drain line and open that up, drain the water out, and that's what we're going to do on ours. On this Cougar that we have, it is towards the back on the driver's side. This is our old trailer, and we've got it up for sale right now, and so we still need to get it winterized and get it ready. So here's the drain line on ours. You can see this right down here. I'm going to open that up, and you can see that water draining out. Get that out of there. That's step number one. Next thing you want to do is come over to your water heater, and you want to drain that out. So the water heater, pretty standard. You'll find a panel that looks just like this somewhere on the outside of your RV. You'll open up this little holder right there, fold it down. Now on ours, we have somebody retrofitted ours that has this drain valve connector, and we just unscrew that, open it up, and then if I open up the pressure relief valve, now you're going to see water draining out. So that's step number two, draining the water out of your water heater. All right, next thing we want to do is we want to go find the low water drain points on the bottom of the RV. We want to open those up so water can drain. Those are typically the lowest point in the trailer where water will go to, and so we're going to open those up and let those drain out as well. Okay, now I'm down underneath the trailer, and I've got the low point water drain lines. There's two of them, one for the hot and one for the cold, and we're going to drain both of those. Ours are just in front of the driver's side front tire, and we're going to open those up and let those drain. Open up this one, and then the second one. Okay, now we're on the inside of the RV, and on ours, the access panel to the pump is inside, and that's what you want to find next, is your access panel, so you can get to the pump. And in this case, we're going to put a diverter hose on, and then we're going to pump antifreeze through the lines. You want antifreeze to go into the lines because these lines, they're just not really strong. They're plastic, and if you're in cold weather, they will freeze, and then you'll have problems come springtime. So my number one preferred method is using the RV antifreeze. The other method is to use an air compressor and blow out the lines. There's a little bit of risk there. If you get the air pressure too high, you can blow your lines out that way or separate some of the fittings. You don't want that to happen. So I'm a little bit more confident in the antifreeze. I like to know antifreeze is in the line and I can see it coming out. I know it's protected that way. So that's the method I'm going to show you right now. We're going to be using antifreeze that I just bought yesterday at Lowe's. It was about just under $5 a gallon. And so we're going to be doing that next, and starting down here with our panel just below the refrigerator. There's our access panel to the water pump. So the water is still draining out of the three areas that I opened up, the water heater and the freshwater drain valve and the low water lines. So while those drain, I'm going to open up the access panel, and let's get in to see where the water pump is. Okay, now if you can see down into here, it's a little bit dark. I'll get a light in there in a minute. But this is our access panel. And I keep stored in here this hose. This is my siphon hose. And I will hook this up to the water pump. I'll disconnect the source water line and screw this fitting on to the pump itself. And then I'll put the other end of the hose down into the antifreeze bottle, and it'll just suck the antifreeze out of the bottle and into the water lines and pump it through the system. It's really easy to do. I keep this hose stored in that panel, so I always know where it's at. It's convenient and easy to get to. So let's get this hooked up and get ready to run some antifreeze through. Okay, we've got some light in here now, and now you can see the pump back in there. All I need to do is disconnect that fitting closest to us and replace that with the hose that I have. And so we're going to do that now. Okay, now that is disconnected. I've got my other hose here. I'm going to get that hooked on. Okay, we've got all that connected. Now we're going to get the antifreeze and get that set up. Okay, we've got our RV and Marine pink antifreeze, and we're ready to use that next. So we're going to open this up, insert the bypass tubing down into here, and we're going to start filling our lines with antifreeze. Okay, so we just put the hose of the bypass hose down into the antifreeze. Now we're going to go turn on the pump, and then we are going to open up some of the faucets, and we're going to let the antifreeze run through all of the system. Make sure it comes out every single faucet. And don't forget, if you have an outside shower or an outside kitchen, don't forget those either. That's a common mistake, so make sure you go and you do every single faucet and shower in your RV. Okay, one step you want to take before you turn the pump on is you want to go back outside and make sure that you close down the low point valves that you opened previously and drained. The reason being is when you turn your pump on, it's going to be flushing antifreeze out that opening. You do want to get the antifreeze to go out and go through there, but you want to be out there and you want to control that. So once we get the pump turned on, after we've closed the valves, then we'll go back outside and we'll open them up just for enough time till we see the pink come through, and then we'll close them back again. Okay, another step you want to do prior to turning on the water pump is you want to bypass the water heater. There's a valve down by the water heater where you can switch the valve, and it will then bypass. Water will no longer go into the water heater. We want to set that up so we're not pumping our water heater full of antifreeze. You don't need to put water or antifreeze in your water heater. All you need to do is drain it like we just did. So now I'm going to bypass the water heater, and then we're going to get ready to turn the pump on. Okay, to get to our bypass valve of the water heater, I had to remove two of the drawers, and the water heater is down inside here. You can see it down there on the bottom valve. There's a valve that I can rotate, so I will rotate that, and that will bypass it. Let's see if I can do that and record at the same time. Okay, so I just turned that valve, and now the water heater is bypassed, and I don't need to worry about it. Okay, we've got everything ready. Now it's time to turn on the water pump and start pumping some antifreeze through the lines. Okay, you can see how that's drained down about half of that gallon to fill the lines up. What we need to do next is we need to start opening up some of the faucets and get water running through until we see the pink. All right, that's on the cold. And now we're going to switch it over to the hot side. You want to make sure you get a good flow of pink and there's no water left in the line. Now we're going over to the hot. Get some air through the line first. And now we've got a good flow of pink on the hot as well. The other thing that we're doing at the same time is we're adding antifreeze down into the drain lines, into the P-traps. And we want to fill all our P-traps with antifreeze, make sure there's no freezing there as well. We're going to come up here into the bathroom, and next we're going to do the bathroom sink. Cold water. Keep that running until we see the pink. And now we're about out of antifreeze. So we need to get our second bottle of antifreeze. So we will turn off the pump and start again. Okay, now there's our second gallon of antifreeze, and we're ready to go turn the pump on again and finish our job here in the bathroom. Okay, we're going to turn the cold water back on again. And it had just started to run some pink, and so that's going good now. Okay, let's turn on the hot. And again, let's let her run, get the air out, and then we need to see the pink antifreeze. Okay, that's good there. One thing you don't want to forget is your toilet. That needs to be flushed through as well, and you need to get the pink going through the toilet. Don't forget the toilet or you'll be unhappy come next spring. And we've got a good flow of pink going through now. Okay, next up for us is our shower. All right, now we've got the pink going through. See that pretty good. All right, we're gonna do the hot water now. And it looks like we've got a good solid flow of pink going through there now. Okay, that takes care of the shower. And like I mentioned earlier, don't forget the outside shower. So let's go take care of that now. Okay, we've got pink almost immediately. Let's do the hot water now, or the cold. And we've got a good flow of pink on that too. Okay, the very last thing we need to do is run a little bit of antifreeze out those low water point lines, and then we should be about done. Let's check those. Well, that just about wraps it up for the winterizing of our trailer. Last thing I need to do is kind of put things back, disconnect the bypass hose, hook the pump back up how it originally was, put the panel back on, and button things back up, and then it'll be good to go. A couple other things that you might want to consider when winterizing is a cover over your tires. Protect them from the UV rays. We park our trailer under a covered parking area in the winter, and so we don't need to worry about that. But the other thing that you might want to consider is a solar battery trickle charge to keep your batteries in good shape. You don't want them to run all the way down. If you're going to be in freezing temperatures, then it's oftentimes a good idea to remove the batteries. We do that. We put them in our garage during the winter and put a trickle charge on those in the garage. Freezing cold temperatures are bad on your batteries. You don't want that to happen. So I'm going to put some links below to some of the things that we used. You can buy from Amazon a bypass kit. You can also buy the covers for your tires, protect them, as well as a solar trickle charger for your battery. If you like this video, you're gonna love the video where we show you how to get your trailer ready for spring camping. See you in the next video.